I'm not married. This is an Oura Ring. And this not just changed my sleep dramatically, but also changed my entire work with my clients. And if you're thinking about buying an Oura Ring, or you can't decide and choose between an Oura Ring, Apple Watch, Whoop Band, or a Garmin device, then please watch this video first. And if you already have an Oura Ring, I would today show you how to use it properly. Welcome to this video. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Marvin. I'm a health and performance coach for high-performing individuals. And today we're gonna talk about sleep optimization, fitness tracker, and especially we're gonna talk about the Oura Ring. First of all, why I use specifically the Oura Ring with my clients. And what is the main difference between other wearables, such as the Whoop Band or the Apple Watch? The main difference is that the Oura Ring sits and measures on the finger. Compared to other wearables, they measure on the wrist. And therefore, the Oura Ring can provide way more precise data than the other wearable. So from my experience and my set of knowledge, the Oura Ring provides the most precise data that you can get. The pricing right now is about 400 euros or $400 for the newest version of the Oura Ring, the Gen 4, which came out a few weeks ago. And therefore, the Oura Ring, to be honest, is not the cheapest one, but also not the most expensive one. There are way more expensive models. For example, Garmin has some really expensive models. So we can say that the price is somewhere medium to high, but also when I work with my clients, for me, it's worth it. That's why I provide the Oura Ring for my clients when I start working with them, just in order to have really precise and accurate data. So how to use the Oura Ring? Me, for myself, but also for my clients, I recommend to use the Oura Ring, especially during the night. You can also wear them throughout the day. You can also wear the Oura Ring while doing sports, of course. When you do strength training, things like deadlifts, pull-ups, everything where you have a lot of force in your hand, a lot of weights in your hand. Most of the time you have to put the Oura Ring out, but from my experience, it's not really important to measure during the training because most tracking devices just measure your heart rate, but especially when you do strength training, your heart rate isn't increasing dramatically. So from my point of view, it's not so important to wear the Oura Ring throughout the day. The most important to wear it at night, and also because when you wake up, you still wear it in the morning, because then you get accurate information, first of all, about your heart rate. And the heart rate and also the development and the changing in the heart rate is really crucial for us, but not just the heart rate, but also the heart rate variability. And these two numbers are really important for us. In general, we can say that we want to keep the heart rate, the resting heart rate, somewhere low and the heart rate variability somewhere high. So just really quick, why is it important to have a high heart rate variability? And what is actually the heart rate variability? To keep it really simple, your heart, let's say you have a heart rate about 60 beats per minute. That means your heart beats 60 times per minute, basically in theory, every single second. But there are changes and differences between the single time slots between each beat. That means maybe sometimes your heart beats after 0.9 milliseconds and on the next beat between 1.1 milliseconds. So the frequency is always changing, and the amount of changes between the single heartbeats, this is called the heart rate variability. And even if it sounds a little bit counterintuitive, you want to have a high changing between these heartbeats. When you have a low HRV, and in addition to this, your heart rate is increasing, your resting heart rate, this is a sign that maybe you're overworked, you have too much stress going on, maybe a mixture of psychological stress, work-related stress, as well as physical stress in terms of training or other things that you do, something like sauna, heat stress, or cold stress, because you're doing a cold plunge, can also impact your recovery. And this is why it's also so important that we have accurate data about the heart rate, the resting heart rate, and the HRV. Another reason to wear an Oura Ring during the night is that we get important data and insights in sleep quantity and sleep quality. For example, when you lay down 8 hours in bed, that doesn't mean that you sleep 8 hours. A lot of times you awake during that night. You also need a little bit of time to fall asleep. That's called the latency, and also the different sleep phases. So that means sleep is not just sleep. You can lay down 9 hours in bed and still have a poor sleep because you awake too much, or you don't have enough sleep in the different sleep phases, because we have different sleep phases which are also important for different aspects of our recovery. For example, we have the deep sleep. The deep sleep is mainly responsible for your physical recovery. Then we also have the so-called REM sleep, the rapid eye movement sleep. And the REM sleep is, you can imagine, it's a little bit like your brain is recovering. So it's processing all of the informations that you had throughout the day. And of course, the REM sleep is really crucial for psychological health, for cognitive performance. And this is where a lot of people struggle to get enough REM sleep. I also had some clients who had really tough sleep problem. And even when they just had a few hours of sleep per night, because they were awake so many times during the night, most of the time they still had more than 1 hour of deep sleep. But what is really suffering is REM sleep. And this can have really long-lasting effects on your mental well-being as well as your cognitive performance. So for REM sleep, we aim for at least 90 minutes of REM sleep, so about 1.5 hours. This is a good benchmark, but of course, we always try to optimize. If possible, we try to get above 2 hours of REM sleep, because then we have the most benefits on the cognitive performance and the mental well-being, especially for entrepreneurs who want to choose good decisions, because I always used to say, as an entrepreneur, you are a decision-making athlete. So you want your brain to recover properly, and this is why we are aiming for the most REM sleep that's possible. And so guys, this is why getting this data is so crucial. So nobody can wake up and exactly know or feel how many REM sleep he has. And if we see it clearly on the data, on the statistics of the Oura Ring, we can make specific changes, for example, in the nutrition. For example, what I experienced with some of my clients is that when we cut down the carbs, when they go low carb, this can lead to less REM sleep. So in that case, you would have to increase your carbohydrate intake to get more REM sleep. But of course, this is highly individual. A lot of people can also go on a ketogenic diet or on a low carb diet and still have enough REM sleep. So this is highly individual, but this is what I noticed from some of my clients. And if you have access to that data, you can make the specific changes also to your nutrition. Let's get to the last and maybe the most important instruction in how to use the Oura Ring, because this is what I noticed by a lot of people. And I went through this struggle by myself when I started tracking my sleep, tracking my health variable. Don't look on your Oura score first thing in the morning. This can lead to a really toxic behavior and toxic relationship between your sleep and your overall health. And I went through this struggle by myself because, of course, in the first order, for a lot of people, it can be a gamification effect. It can be really interesting, and that's why they are excited to have a look on their Oura scores. But for some people, let's say you're a really sensitive sleeper and you already have sleep problems and you try to optimize and therefore use an Oura Ring, this can lead to a really toxic behavior when you wake up and immediately look on your Oura score. Of course, I wouldn't recommend you to look on your phone anyway, first thing in the morning. This is also a really toxic behavior. So this is why I recommend to my clients not look on the Oura score first thing in the morning. Do it in the evening, or you don't have to do it at all. When we're working together, we are looking on the score at least once per week. So that means it's not necessary to check it every day. And if you do so, if you check it every evening, for example, then just look on it rationally. So that means you have a look on the data, you can have a look on the different sleep phases, and then make logic decisions. For example, okay, my heart rate was elevated, maybe I'm gonna eat a little bit earlier tonight, or I get overall too less sleep, maybe I go to sleep a little bit earlier, some things like this. So choose rational decision, but don't look on the Oura score first thing in the morning. Trust me, it will do more bad than good for you. So that's it for today's video. I hope you like it. If you have questions related to the Oura Ring, sleep optimization, or also topics that you want to talk about and want me to record a video, then just hit a comment down below. And if you are an entrepreneur who wants to optimize your health and performance, then subscribe to that channel. That's it for today. See you soon, guys.